video shows you how to create sheets for an architectural model. So the first thing you're going to want to do is to create a sheet. These sheets are going to then be printed out at a specific scale. So you can go to a floor plan here, whichever floor plan it is that you want to print out, and you want to right click and say duplicate, and you're just straight duplicating it. You can rename this. I will name it for sheet. And now you want to go to this floor plan and make sure that you have everything set up the way you want it. If you want room names, you would want to put them on this sheet. If you have dimensions, you'd want to remove them because you don't want dimensions on your drawing, and so on. Once you have this view set up, you can also hide these guys. You won't need these when you print them out. All right. So now you want to go down to the area under here called Sheets. And you will create a new sheet. So you right click on Sheets, New Sheet. You want this title block. If this is not already one of your options, you hit Load, and you can find it in here by going to the title blocks folder. And here's the A size. A size just means 8.5 by 11 paper. And now you want to hit OK. And here is the new sheet that we just created. I'm going to rename this first floor Actually, how about first floor for model? Okay, now you can right click over here again and say add view. And this is the one where you want to add the one that you just created. If you remember, I called it sheet. I probably should have called it model. Add view to sheet. And you click in here. Now, you want to make sure you're at 1/8 inch to 1 foot, unless we're doing a different project for which we specify a different scale. If you're not happy with that scale, you can change it by clicking on the view and then changing the scale over here. You want to also make sure you don't have any of that random names and such dimensions that we talked about. You can move this a little bit down and out of the way if you don't want, because what you're going to do with this is cut this floor plan out. One thing I forgot to have you do is hide the doors. When you cut your model, you're going to want to have just the paper form of this, so you don't want these doors sticking out. So what you can do is go back to that view that you created. Actually, let me rename this while I'm here. Okay. And now I'm going to hide these doors. And remember, for this one, I'm only going to hide the elements because I want the rest of my floor plan doors to print. Now you can go back to Sheets. And the sheet was E5 that we were working on. Oh no, there it is. And then if you just double click on this, it will update to whatever you have hidden. Now you can see the temporary hide isolate. Okay, so now those doors are gone. I'm going to move this back down. And now you're ready to print. Actually, one last thing. In case you need to get rid of this border because it's taking up too much of your space and you need it for your floor plan model, you want to click on the border and then say Edit Family. And it will bring you into this, and you can just delete everything that you need, except you want to leave, oops, you can just select everything that's in here. And then just leave this outside border so that you know where your actual paper is going to be. And you can just say yes to this because this should only save it to, well, I'm not sure about that. Hold on a second, I might make a copy. Okay, I made a copy of it just in case it overwrites it, and now I can say yes to this. Ah, good. And now it will make a copy for you. You could call this no title block and save it in your G drive. And now you can just place that one anywhere and delete the old title block. And this defines where your paper will be. Okay, last thing, if you want this to be rotated because it would fit better on your paper, you could always just click up here and then pick the rotation. Now to print this, click on print, and you have to make sure you get the 100% scale set up. And it might be different in any different, depending on the printer you're using. But here it is. Do not allow fit to page to be on. You want 100% zoom so that it stays the same size. Otherwise, your scale won't be the scale you said it would be. I'm going to say yes to that. Actually, this is the printer you're going to be using, the 312. So let's make sure it's still set to 100. Yes, it is. And now you should be able to hit OK, and it will print it to the scale that you want, and then you can cut the outline of your house out, or the floor plan. You do want to say leave, if you get this warning, you want to leave the hide on. That's basically the doors that we hid. Do you want to leave them hidden is what they're asking you. So yes, you want to leave them hidden. Now, if you want walls to be printed, in other words, elevation views, you can do the same thing. And because you don't really care if these levels are printed, because you're going to be using this just as a way to measure and model to know what size your windows are and such. So you might want to skip duplicating the view and just go straight to sheet and say, actually, let's see if they already have some printed. There's some elevation views. Nah, they already have them set up for large sheets. So I'm just going to say new sheet, pick a size, no title block. That didn't work so well. I'm going to edit this one again and select everything except for that last border. And it will always add yours to the next one here. So all these elevation views. And here's where you can say add view. Not too sure why that didn't work. Oh, here we go. Now obviously that scale is too big. So we are going to change the scale to 1/8. And you do not need all of these levels. So I'm going to say hide category here. And now all you have is the house itself. Whoa, I just actually, careful not to edit it. And now to get out of that editing mode, you just double click anywhere in the middle space, and now you can move this view around. You can drag this in so it's not so long. And then you can add all the other views, and this way you will know what size and where your windows are while you're cutting the walls out. You can add the rest of the views and then print this one as well. And that should do it for what you need to print for your model.